McLaren's surprising win in Miami has sparked new excitement for the 2024 Formula One season. The Woking-based team has made significant changes to the MCL38, introducing over 10 major upgrades in one go. This shows McLaren's strength in mid-season development, aiming not just for race wins, but to challenge Verstappen for the top spot on the podium. Today, we'll take a close look at what's new on their car. Can these upgrades help them consistently compete for first place? Let's find out. Lando Norris grabs his maiden Formula One victory at the 2024 Miami Grand Prix after a few near misses and moments of bad luck in the past. And while good fortune did arrive for the McLaren driver with the safety car interruption, there was more behind his victory charge that meant he took his first win rather than being given it. And yeah, he might have found himself very lucky with timing of the safety car during the Miami Grand Prix, but his performance in the upgraded McLaren MCL38 was undeniably impressive, particularly when compared to the Red Bull and Ferrari, and we're going to explain why. Despite qualifying slightly slower, the McLaren exhibited superior pace on race day, especially on the medium and hard tyres. While external factors were needed to capitalise on this pace and secure victory, Norris adeptly seized upon opportunities to claim his first Grand Prix win, dispelling any doubts about his abilities. Sergio Perez had a bit of a chaotic start, which forced the Ferraris off track and split the McLarens, further complicating matters. Norris lost ground in the fray, while Oscar Piastri capitalised on the situation to move up the ranks. Throughout the race, Norris maintained a narrow gap behind Verstappen, while the Ferraris trailing closely but unable to challenge. Although there was speculation about Sainz's potential to overtake Leclerc, it did not materialise into any significant strategy discussions within the Ferrari team. And despite McLaren's enhanced aerodynamic efficiency, it lacked the straight line speed necessary for overtaking. Even with the assistance of DRS, the McLaren struggled to match the Red Bull's pace on the straights. However, Norris could still sense the car's underlying potential, reminiscent of its performance during Friday's practice sessions on the medium tyres. The Woking-based outfit has spent recent weeks working on addressing weaknesses that it feels its MCL38 car has. However, despite the raft of changes that it has revealed ahead of first practice in Miami, Lando Norris has explained that the tweaks brought this time out are more aimed at purely lifting performance. Asked what he expected from the upgrade package, Norris said, "Hopefully a quicker car. I think it's reasonable. It definitely should be obvious for when I'm behind the wheel in terms of finding some good steps forward, but it's not necessarily directed at helping all of our weaker areas, which is something we're still aiming for and working very hard to try and improve. But anything that's going to try and make the car go quicker, especially when it's so tight, is going to help. So we wouldn't have pushed so hard to try to bring it here on a sprint race unless we were hoping it helps." In the FIA submission documents outlining the modifications to their cars, McLaren has detailed 10 key areas of revision: a completely redesigned front wing, working in tandem with brake ducts and front suspension to enhance overall downforce, and new front suspension geometry aimed at supporting airflow from the front wing and improving its conditioning for the rest of the car. Revised front brake duct and winglet configurations intended to better manage airflow from the front wing. A thoroughly overhauled floor engineered to collaborate with new side pod inlets and bodywork to amplify downforce, and adjusted side pod inlets designed to complement airflow changes and enhance the feeding of air to the rear of the car in conjunction with the new bodywork. Upgraded bodywork and engine cover to enhance aerodynamic efficiency alongside the new side pod inlet. Updated cooling tailored to accommodate shifts in the flow field within this car region. Rear suspension updates to optimize airflow and enhance load generation, complemented by new rear brake ducts and winglets aimed at augmenting downforce, alongside a new offloaded beam wing design to improve load distribution with the rear wing, particularly suited to the Miami circuit layout. The MCL38 Norris had was the full complement of major updates McLaren have brought to Miami. Remembering that awful run here 12 months ago with the first iteration of the MCL60, the extra downforce they added with these new parts, according to Stella, provided enough of a boost that the orange team felt it needed to be less demanding from a rear wing point of view, which is never too efficient, according to Andrea Stella, on a track with such a corner and straight combination. Stella wearing a pin honouring late McLaren sporting director, advisor and 2003 Indianapolis 500 winner Gilles de Ferran revealed in the paddock post-race his team had also consciously decided to set up the car to maximise low-speed performance. So the decent performance we had in low speed is not necessarily because of the characteristic of the package. Really, the MCL38 still doesn't like such stuff. Along with the Red Bull's damage and older tyres, this all explains how Norris was able to tear into Verstappen on his 24-lap run to home, mainly with gains in the opening sector and then essentially matching or pulling away further through the laps remaining thirds. But what is just as important to any consideration of Norris' victory potential without the safety car intervening is his pace from much earlier in the race. The whole weekend has been good, Lando said. I've just had some little setbacks along the way, but I knew on Friday we had the pace and just a couple of mistakes here and there. But today we managed to put it together. We put the perfect strategy. It all paid off. So thanks to McLaren and everyone, and I have to give a shout out to my mum and dad, of course. Norris has not shied away from admitting there have been times when he has thrown away good results, but was full of praise for the McLaren team that he has total faith in and has long supported him. I'm just proud, really, he said. I mean, a lot of people, I guess, doubted me along the way. I've made a lot of mistakes over my last 5 years, my short career, but today we put it all together. So this is all for the team. I stuck with McLaren because I could believe in them, and I did believe in them, and today proved exactly that. Norris' exceptional pace before and after that important safety car moment guarantees that this will be remembered as a thoroughly earned, convincing victory. It's not merely luck when Norris manages to pull 7 seconds ahead of Verstappen in a direct battle. With a significant portion of the race remaining after the safety car period ended, relying solely on luck would have been insufficient to maintain such a commanding lead. Moreover, McLaren's strategic decision to opt for a longer stint was a calculated move, made possible by both the car's performance and his driving skill. Another notable aspect of this win was the overwhelming support from fellow drivers. Witnessing many of them approach Norris to offer their congratulations created a heartwarming moment that resonated throughout the F1 community. We're in uncharted territory for Norris because no driver has been as good as he has been and waited as long for a win. All this win does is end the predictable narrative of when will Lando win a race, and in terms of what it means for him and those around him, of course they will celebrate this victory and all that it means for him, his family and backers, but ultimately it means little for how we should think about him as an F1 driver. We already knew Lando Norris was good enough to win races, and it was a matter of ill fortune and circumstance that meant it hadn't happened up until now. He was already of race-winning caliber, so I guess in some ways nothing has really changed. As for McLaren, Imola in 2 weeks' time will arrive with an even bigger package for the Papaya team, and it's going to be very interesting to see how things will shape out. Remember, last year Red Bull didn't lose 2 races for the entire season. Now, quarter way in, they have, with 2 different teams getting a victory. And while both of them were fortunate enough with the circumstances, it does prove that Red Bull can be beaten this year. And I do believe that this will not be the only race this season in which we will see another anthem being played on the podium rather than the Dutch one. Well done, Lando. And as Verstappen himself said, this will not be your last victory. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. How do you feel about Lando Norris winning his first race? Thanks for watching today's video. We'll see you in the next one.